Good morning. Have you ever noticed walking into a room and being able to sense how somebody's feeling or sense their emotional state? And then have you noticed how you react and respond according to that? I certainly do. I used to think it was just part of being super intuitive, and what I realized is it's actually just part of being human. There's so much where we're constantly reacting to each other and relating to each other that physically affects us tremendously. I love spending this time talking to you about worry and how to help heal it because our culture is very enmeshed in feeling disempowered and are very disconnected from the center that they live, which is in the heart. And that's where we ultimately want to constantly thrive and flourish from, is in here. So remember, every time we put our hands here, we're literally fueling our connection to be in our heart and not our fear, not our worry. So we discussed daily gratitude, the importance of writing it out. And the reason we write it out is it literally physically changes the way that our physical body can feel when we write it out compared to just a thought and a computer. It's a physical release of energy when we write like this compared to just thinking. Computer's a little bit better, but writing is definitely better. There's a healing process that happens with pen to paper. So I really recommend making sure you're doing it that way, because I know some of you guys have shared with me that you're doing it, but you're thinking about it, or you're writing it on a computer. Do that too, but right now in this course, please take the time to write it out on actual paper with an actual pen or pencil. So it's easy to do to-do lists. It's easy to write your gratitude. Now, when you walk into a room and you feel somebody upset, you notice how you kind of pull back and you figure out how you're going to react or relate in a way that's not going to make it worse, that might make it better, that isn't going to affect you in a negative way. Our bodies do that with the way our minds work all the time. If I start thinking about something that I'm stressed or worried about, my body has an immediate reaction to that. As you know, most likely I'm a medical intuitive, and what that means is I work with people from all over the world and basically help heal their bodies from the inside out. I teach people the dialogue between their mind and their body and how to be able to create more of a harmony, how they take care of themselves, how that affects their physical body, how what you eat affects how you think and how you feel, all that kind of stuff. That's what my job is. And then there's this fun part of my work and being able to help teach you guys how to be able to work in a healthier relationship between you, life, your mind, and be able to create a greater joy in your life, to be able to manifest what you really want in your life, whether it's a feeling, an experience, something, a relationship. It's very easy to really connect into yourself. And once you understand how to do that, everything kind of relaxes and everything starts flowing at a whole different level. So when you're thinking a certain way, your body is responding to those thoughts. So some of you will say, yeah, I have panic attacks. Yeah, you have a big issue with worry. I don't sleep. Of course, because your body is biochemically responding to the way your thoughts naturally are working. Just like when you walk into a room and somebody's really stressed or somebody's really sad or somebody is just feeling kind of off and you can sense that, your body's constantly sensing what your mind is focused on. So if you physically don't feel well, it's always a good idea to start looking at how you're thinking or what you're thinking about. It's a good thing, a good reminder. And I have a feeling we'll probably end up talking about that more down the road a little bit. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is, remember how we do this when we're breathing or we're noticing we're worried, just to connect us back into our hearts. After you write your 3 things to be grateful for, put your hands here. Close your eyes. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And physically feel what it feels like in your body when you focus on being grateful. Focus on the physical experience that you're having when you're focusing on gratitude. Give yourself permission to feel. What does it feel like to know in your life that you have this amazing person by your side? Physically give yourself permission to feel it. Get the experience of it in the body. What does it feel like to feel grateful that you have food? What does it feel like to be grateful that the sun is touching your shoulders? What does it feel like to be grateful that you can have a sense of hearing, or that you're physically healthy, or that your children are healthy, or that your children are happy? What does it physically feel like? I'm going to ask you to close your eyes after you do your commitment in the evening time. And I'm going to ask you to physically breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, allowing yourself to feel physically grateful. Just breathe for a minute or a minute and a half after you're done writing your 3 things to be grateful for, and really allow your body to have the experience of what it feels like to be grateful. Why? Because your body is used to feeling like it has to respond and react negatively to everything around you. When everything's negatively happening, it has to fix it, or it has to react to it, or it has to become it. Your body is the same way. So what I want you to do is understand that by the end of this course that we're having. Understand that you get to give yourself whatever experience you want. Life is happening around you. So then what will happen is, if that person's upset, you know that they're on their own path, and you're going to watch how you react to that physically. They're upset. Ooh, my body's tight. Breathe, connect. Don't try to help people if you're in a tight, restricted place, because it's not going to help you. You're worried because they're worried. That sounds like a really good plan. When somebody's worried, find your center. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. This is your center. The more that we can work with connecting to that, giving yourself feelings that feel good, the better it's going to be, because each and every one of you is used to living your life on your tiptoes, walking around, waiting for the next bad thing to happen and the next shoe to drop. When you breathe and you close your eyes, you give yourself a different experience, even just for that minute. When you focus on gratitude, you give yourself that space just for that 3 sentences that you're writing to focus differently than how your mind naturally works. And when you're consistent with that, across the board, I see this in my practice, your life will change. That's why I'm a gratitude advocate. That's why I finished my first book, and I haven't published it yet, and my next book is going to be focused a lot on gratitude, because it heals in so many ways. And I'm so excited I get to spend the next week talking to you about gratitude and how it heals worry. So experience gratitude. Don't just think it. Don't just write it. That's all good. But take it to another level so your body gets a different experience than constantly having to react to worry. It's used to reacting to negative, not necessarily positive. You see what I'm saying? So you're used to looking at your whole life waiting for the negative to happen and then kind of reacting to that. Learn to react more to the positive. And you're going to see how your body responds. Somebody comes into my house and starts crying, I just sit there. Is there anything I can do to help you and support you? I used to be like, oh. That's what it used to be like for me. Oh my God. And then I would worry about them, and they'd be like, oh my God, I'm having financial problems. What can I give you? What can I do? Let me fix it. There's nothing to fix. It's just a path. And the path is that we get to learn more and more and more about ourselves, and we get to journey into the heart if we want to. And that's what each of us are doing, and it's so exciting. Do I worry? Not much anymore. People are always looking at me saying, oh, I can't believe you're not worried about that. It's going to work out however it's supposed to work out. And I'm going to have a lot of energy reserved to be able to know how I need to react and respond, because I live my life in here. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Allow yourself to experience what it feels like to be grateful. All right, building blocks. We're learning.